Last time on What If Sonic, our time traveler Silver and Blaze began their quest to get the Chaos Emeralds to save the future. On their way, they found the sealed away future Shadow, who seemed to have some kind of trauma. Despite that, the group split up to find the emeralds with Silver going to Angel Island. While on his search, he was attacked by the rusted up Mecha Sonic, out for revenge. Mecha Sonic had pinned the time traveler to the ground. Mecha Sonic! Mecha Sonic doesn't reply, and charges his hand up and smacks it down. Silver releases a psychic blast at the last moment, knocking Mecha Sonic off him. Silver stands up looking almost dumbfounded. How are you back? Me and Knuckles destroyed you 200 years ago! The robot stares blankly and boosts himself over for an attack. Silver readies himself and catches the fist, and in return, he blasts Mecha Sonic in the face. The robot revolts back and swings several times at Silver. The hedgehog narrowly dodges these attacks and talks while doing so. Well, whatever the reason, back off now! Mecha Sonic lunges towards Silver, pinning him to the wall. He holds the psychic in a chokehold, not lessening in grip. Mecha Sonic looks Silver dead in the eyes before adjusting something on his face.
You want to know why? Know how? Well then, I'll tell you. After you and that blasted echidna destroyed me, I lay broken. Me, Dr. Robotnik's greatest creation, left as a husk of himself. I washed up on a junk-filled island full of nothing but vintage robots. They fixed me, and I even got a voice box engine. It was great, but my hatred for you and that red meat bag did not lessen. I was able to escape after years of living on that island, only to discover the world was ruined. I searched the eggnet and found that everyone was dead. My good luck pulled through though. You weren't from my time. You were listed as a time traveler from 200 years in the future. So I waited until this very day. That echidna may be dead, but you aren't. I'll change that though.
Long-winded, don't you think?
This is no place for jokes, you meatbag.
Silver tries to free himself, but nothing works. Listen, we don't have to fight! All I'm looking for is a Chaos Emerald.
You mean this?
Mecha Sonic pulls open a hatch on his chest to reveal a red Chaos Emerald. Its light illuminates the area before he shuts the chest.
Living off spare parts only does you so much, but with this, I can complete my objective.
Mecha slams Silver down to the ground before slamming his foot on his chest.
Killing you.
Silver coughs up a bit of blood before regaining his composure. Listen, all I need is the emerald. You can go away peacefully, but I'm giving you one last chance.
Peace? Peace was never an option. I was Dr. Robotnik's greatest creation, and you took that from me. I could never move on. You tortured my thoughts even when I tried to forge a new path for myself. But now, I can finally be rid of my hatred.
If that's how it has to be then, take this!
I'll crush you!
Before Mecha Sonic can act, Silver throws 2 rocks at him with his psychokinesis, knocking the robot off him. Alright, Mecha, time for round 2. This time, one-on-one. The two charge at each other, beginning a fierce fight. Meanwhile, we cut to Blaze navigating the outside yards of White Acropolis. Over the horizon is Iblis, tearing up what's left of the base. Blaze storms to the outskirts of the area and towards the main base. She jumps from tower to tower until she finally arrives at the entrance. Better make this quick. With Iblis, who knows how long till I'm done for. Blaze knocks down the rusted door and runs inside. She navigates through the ruined corridor as she feels the heat of Iblis despite how far he is from her. The place is rusted and run down. It's eerie and dead. Broken robots lay on the ground like an undug graveyard. Blaze has an easy enough time getting through the base. She searches through every corner trying to find the Chaos Emerald. So far, no luck. Room after room leaves nothing but ancient relics, until she makes it to a large corridor. Inside are computer screens and a shattered window. Beyond the window is a tall cylinder-shaped room, some kind of testing area it seems. What it tests? Unknown. Most of the computers are broken, but some still seem to operate. Blaze lets her curiosity control her, and she decides to take a quick break to look on those screens. A little look won't hurt. She presses a button and on turns an Eggnet logo. From there, different files appear. Badnik designs, Eggman base locations, 10 terabytes of selfies. But something catches her eye, a file on Solaris. She clicks it, but suddenly, several sirens ring.
Unauthorized personnel detected. Deploying defense units.
Defense units? As the room flashes red over and over, a hatch opens from the ceiling. Out falls a group of shadow androids, old and rusted, but ready for the kill. I'm not staying to find out where this goes. Blaze runs back through the corridors and into the main hallway once more. From behind are several shadow androids, racing behind her. Blaze turns back in a weapons room and gets in a fighting ready stance. Alright, let's turn up the heat. Blaze spins into the group as they try and grapple her, but get knocked back. One android spins into Blaze, but she throws a box marked explosives at the android and it blows up. One android down, several more to go. The androids run one by one, punching Blaze and trying to grab her. She kicks them all, and the ones who got hit are directly destroyed. Before they can retaliate, Blaze spins into more of them, knocking them all back. One more left. Blaze catches her breath, but is jammed by the android into a dark room. Suddenly, the lights turn on and dozens of old badniks activate. Blaze is surrounded and the android starts to choke her. She feels something, a bit of heat. She quickly spins her in the android, and before it can retaliate, most of the room gets crushed by the hand of Iblis. Blaze narrowly escapes it, and from the hallway, she can see her prize, a gray Chaos Emerald in the rubble. She quickly grabs it before Iblis does anything, and she hightails it out of there. Back with Silver, the Psychic Hedgehog is launching projectile after projectile at Mecha Sonic, who is simply crushing the objects. He rams through it all and dashes towards Silver. The Psychic flies above Mecha and boosts down into him. The result creates a small crater where he and Mecha stand. Silver looks over to Mecha, panting, and Mecha without hesitation starts to spin dash at Silver. Silver gets caught off guard, but luckily he catches Mecha with his psychokinesis. It's brief before Mecha activates his shield, and Silver gets out of the way as Mecha spins into a lull. He gets up and shoots a chest beam at Silver. The Hedgehog gets knocked back, but not before throwing some boulders, which both miss. Mecha starts to walk forward, and thinking fast, Silver releases a powerful psychic blast. As the dust settles, Mecha walks right through it with his shield still activated, before he shuts it off. Silver pants, but isn't gonna give up. He consumes himself with his aura and picks up rock after rock, chucking them at Mecha Sonic. The robot simply walks through it all, but the attacks do get a bit rapid to the point that the mechanical menace must break them. Silver planned for this. Whilst the seemingly invincible robot is busy crushing rocks, Silver grabs a rock from behind Mecha and tosses it into the back of his head. Mecha gets knocked forward and looks at Silver with a glare of pure hatred. He rushes at the Psychic and slams his fist in his direction. Silver dodges the punch, but Mecha's other fist lands on Silver in the meantime, and the Hedgehog is launched back. Mecha rushes forward and pins him to the wall. He punches Silver in the gut and he spits out some blood in response. With blood leaking from his mouth and bruises all over, Silver turns his painful look into a grin. Mecha looks at him doing nothing for a few seconds before Silver breaks the silence. I need Knuckles to even stand a chance against you. But now look at me. I'm holding my own against you.
I've still got the upper hand.
But you've tanked a lot of hits. Who knows how long they'll last. Either way, I'm simply satisfied with knowing how much I've grown. Mecha Sonic looks bewildered before backing off for a second. Silver is briefly let go. They stare at each other before Mecha lunges at Silver.
You will not talk me down. Die!
Mecha aims his hands at Silver, aiming for a skull-crushing attack. He narrowly misses, but before the Hedgehog can counterattack, he kicks Silver away and spin dashes right into him. Silver gets launched over and downwards into a crevice in the palace. If he were to fall through it, he'd land in lava. Silver attempts to get up, but those bruises are really sinking in, and he yells in agony. He too had tanked hits just like Mecha Sonic. He tries to fight through the pain, but he's too slow. Mecha grabs his arm and holds him over the pit. With dead silence, he releases Silver as he falls into the pit. Right before he's out of range, Silver tries something. He faces his hand towards the Chaos Emerald in Mecha's chest and focuses. Let's see if this works. Chaos Control! The emerald in Mecha's chest glows before imploding and launching the two back. Seems Silver still needs to work on his chaos energy manipulation. His failed use of it caused an inverse reaction. Well, it was worth a shot. Plan B then. Silver, as he's launched back and down into the pit, consumes himself in a psychic aura and boosts up and back into the chamber. Ah! Darn it! Doing that with injuries like this hurts.
You... Ah!
Mecha Sonic gets up with his chest completely exposed. The whole area is scorched and wires are exposed.
I was gonna take my sweet time, but no! I was mistaken. If I want to move on from you, then I'll need to finish the job proper. No holding back!
Mecha Sonic starts to power up in front of Silver as the emerald in his chest glows. He finally releases his power as a golden aura surrounds him. I take back saying I could do this alone. Mecha dashes straight at Silver and pummels him into the ground, beating the life out of him. But as soon as it starts, something is wrong. The damage he endured and the fact that his body is so old has finally taken its toll. Using the Chaos Emerald has put too much pressure on Mecha's body, and the wires around him look unstable. Silver notices this, and with the last of his strength, activates a protective psychic aura. Mecha! The robot explodes and covers the area in smoke. Silver narrowly avoids the blast as the smoke clears and he walks forward. Mecha Sonic has nothing left but his upper half. The Chaos Emerald lays barely connected to the robot. Silver looks on in horror, and the robot rips the emerald out of his own chest.
You want it? Have it.
What?
You won. Let me die now. There's nothing left for me.
He puts the emerald in Silver's hands. I only need it temporarily. I can give it back to you. We can fix you. You don't have to die. I won't let anyone else die.
I squandered my chance of life. I only wanted revenge. And I even failed at that. I would rather die than live.
Silver reaches out his hand. Don't say that! I can help!
Go, or I'll take you out with me.
Silver looks on disgusted and disappointed. His eyes are filled with pain, and he clenches his fist before standing strongly. Alright, I'm sorry. Silver looks back as he flies off, and Mecha Sonic lays down with moments to live. He leaves Angel Island and heads back towards Crisis City. In conjunction, Blaze is also heading back. While Silver flies, he feels regret for letting Mecha Sonic die. He didn't want to have anyone else die, even an enemy. But ultimately, he tells himself he couldn't do anything. Mecha Sonic had done this to himself. He needs to save the future, and that might come at the cost of some things. He can't worry about it too much. As Silver and Blaze get close to the rendezvous point, we cut to Shadow. He had just gotten 2 Chaos Emeralds from the Special Zone, and now he stands in front of a ruined Mount Freedom, home to a former major gun base, and the location of the 6th Chaos Emerald. The Hedgehog tears open the entrance and walks through the abandoned corridors, but he has a feeling he isn't alone. And that's where we'll be leaving things for right now. This is it. We're in the home stretch. With 5 of the 7 Chaos Emeralds, Shadow must search through an abandoned gun base to find the next one. What lays hidden inside the base, and what will happen once the group confronts Mephiles? Find out next time on What If Sonic. Make sure to like and subscribe for more if you want to. And as always, thanks for watching.